Say, man, you know what it is, man. Special guest on the building. Much love and respect to my man Retro stopping through, y'all. Y'all know what to do.
Big still, you still keeping it 100.
Yo, what up? This is Marvin Gibson, aka Big Gip, and you are now tuned in to the Retro Philosophy Show.
Hey now, this is the Mileage Bully, the Moto Mob CEO, home of the Moto Mob where legends are made. You are now tuned in to the Retro Philosophy Show. Like, share, and subscribe. You know what to do. Press play.
Listen, God knows all things. Because he knows all things, he does nothing without intentionality. So if he allowed you to wake up this morning, you ought to live like God wanted you to live on purpose.
That's when you know you're born for something. When you can walk out and don't care what people say, don't care what they do. You found what you've been looking for, and I'm dead on course now. That don't mean they're not ups and downs. That doesn't mean there's not disappointments. But what it does mean, you have found what you were born for. Yes, sir. And if you're turning your back on what you're born for, then God begin to whip you until you get your act together, because he's not going to let you go until you do what you're born to do.
You already know what it is. It's your homegirl, Lottie Dottie. I'm in the building hanging out with Retro, and he is never
I don't say it all I can say. A lot of people like to hold back, but I don't hold back nothing. I take just like it is.
Yes, indeed. What's up, everybody, including Lottie Dottie? You already know what it is. It's your boy Retro with you on today. Short show today. We're going to hit it. We're going to quit it. It don't take all day to do nothing. And you ain't got to be long to be strong. Can I get a witness up in the building on today? How is everybody doing? Hopefully my
There's a saying that I heard many moons ago.
Bada boom, bada bang. How about now? Does that sound any better? A sweet, beautiful lady who's somebody tell me something here. Let me see here. Bada boom, bada bang. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Audio issues, audio issues, audio issues. How are we sounding, good folks? Good morning, Natalie James. What's going on? What's going on? Good morning, Natalie. How we sounding? How we sounding? We sounding all right now? I was sounding like a robot a little earlier, apparently. Bada boom, bada bang, bada boom, boom, bang. Let me see if I can do this real quick here. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, at any rate, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie. We're gonna have to have a talk with Roadcaster Pro. I know it's probably user error or whatever you call it, but this is ridiculous. All right, but who do you think he is what we're talking about on today. I guess that will suffice for now. Let me see if I can check one more thing here. Okay, so some static. Okay, I'm good now. Okay, so we okay, if it goes crazy, guys, just let me know something. I shouldn't have to do that, and that shouldn't be that, and blah blah blah. And let me see this, and then we got that, and then we got this over here. Oh well, I'll leave good enough alone, and I'll just work with it. So we good for now, folks? If so, let's just go ahead and keep it moving. Let me see if bada boom, bada bang. All right, so anyway, we're talking today about who do you think you is? Oh Lord Jesus, help us, Lord. And guess what, guys? I think I'm still. Oh, there we go. That might be part of the problem there. Richard Gardner's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make some noise, amen, for Mr. Gardner joining the broadcast on today. So who do you think you are? Okay, so let's get back in it. Okay, good. Okay, I think we might have worked through that. So what was I saying? Well, let me just jump back to where I last remember the point that I was making. The prodigal son, okay? He had to take ownership, as do many of us. We've got to take ownership. Now taking ownership of where you are and taking ownership of what role you played does not villainize us. It does not make you necessarily the bad guy. But if you continue to deny it, then you could be seen as the bad guy, right, wrong, or indifferent. You know, here's what I often say. I often say, you may not be able to fix the problem, but you gotta address the issue. Let's say that one more time, because somebody might have just came in the back of the classroom. You might not be able to fix the problem. You might not be able to stop the problem, but you gotta address the issue. Furthermore, if we address issues of life, they don't have the opportunity to turn to problems in life. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing to me up in here, but you're gonna mess around and I have church all by myself, because I ain't scared. You come on, somebody. So the question remains, that's the question today. Who do you think you are? Okay, so let's talk about that for a moment. Number one, now one of you are exempt from consequences of life. We're not exempt. There's a lot of things we're not exempt from. Okay, so don't ever get to a place in this thing called life where you think the rules do not apply to you. I didn't freeze, and I'm not at a loss of words. This is a Selah moment. You know what it is? You ever read the Bible and then at the end of the verse it says Selah? That means think on that. Let that resonate. Yeah, that's a moment where you need to just pause for the cause, moment of silence, and think about it. I should have had Special Ed in the background. Remember he had that track, he said, think about it. You know, Special Ed was my man back in the day. We used to rock, man. But think about it. We are not exempt. And if you want to, maybe I'll do a segment one day, the pet peeves of retro's pet peeves. Anybody got a pet peeve? I don't even know what a pet peeve is. I don't know, but that's one of my pet peeves. I disdain people who have a double standard. A double standard is when these rules apply to you but not to them. It's a double standard. I don't like that. I don't think it's right. And we've got to be very, very, very careful. Good morning to my man Preach Breed in the building. He says I'm moving on to the he's moving on to the front, guys. Come on, let's make some noise for Preach Breed in the building. Yeah. Juanita Shaw, we got some heavy hitters with us on this morning. Juanita Shaw, we coming your way soon, girl. Soon as I get Ruby Red off the, out of the hospital, we're gonna fire that thing up and we're gonna head your way soon, cause we're moving on up to the Detroit. You know, we got to slide through there and go holler at your boy Lavish later on. Later on in September, August, for the Lavish bash that he's having. So if you don't know, you better ask somebody. We're going to get the flyer. We're going to get it up here on the Retro Philosophy Show so everybody will know what's going on. But we're going to slide through that way. And since we're going to be, over up in that irish area where we're going to stop by and see Juanita Shaw. Let's make some noise for Juanita Shaw in the building, y'all. You got to call it out, acknowledge there is an issue first. So thank you, sir, for getting me back on track. We've got to acknowledge that there is an issue. I might not know how to fix it, but look, bro, Houston, we have ourselves a problem. What we gonna do? I don't know, but we certainly ain't gonna sit there and act like it's not the elephant in the room. How could now when you think about the saying an elephant in the room, an elephant in a room? Come on, bro. I mean, really? There is no more room because the elephant is there. I was sharing with a couple people just yesterday, as a matter of fact. Several years ago, we had the privilege of going to Uganda. Great trip, great opportunity, great time. And we also did the safari while we were there. We get into the safari. As soon as we get in, they begin to go over the rules, what we might see, what this, that, and the other, what to expect, and what to do in the case of this, that, and the other. We begin to proceed down the trail, and within moments, there's this ruffling in the bushes and the trees, and next thing you know, out comes this huge elephant. I mean, the biggest elephant I've ever seen in my life. And on top of it, it was literally like right in front of me, you know, and it was so stunning and majestic and just awesome and just breathtaking. You know, an elephant, that's a big animal, man, you know. And so an elephant in the room, there is no more room. So you got to just address the issue, okay? I don't know what we're going to do to fix it. I don't know how we're going to turn it around. But look, bruh, sis, there's an elephant in this room. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Who do you think you are? Do you think that you have gotten to a place in life where you don't have to deal with issues and only I do? I like that, Juanita. She says conflict is in the okay. I'm sorry. I thought she was okay. I misread. I read too fast. And okay, so conflict is in the hospital too. For some reason, when I read that, I was thinking because I saw on my screen conflict is right over hospital, and you know, in life sometimes conflict can fix things. Y'all don't want to believe that, but see, you think that an argument, you want to argue. I can't argue with you. You mad. I used to have that drop. I don't even know where it's at. I got to hear somewhere in this computer. But sometimes an argument is the best thing that could have happened to your relationship, because an argument means that we no longer see eye to eye, but this is an opportunity for our relationship to be strengthened, and out of this argument, if you see arguing, let me say it this way: an argument is not a bad thing, but arguing is. Let's keep it moving, man. So sometimes conflict has come for the purpose of thrusting our relationship, thrusting our opportunities to a whole nother level. Does that make any kind of sense to anybody? Yeah, it makes. Thank you. It makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we got to address these issues in life, and none of us are exempt. Okay. Now I've said this. Success is the easiest place for you to fail. Listen to me, folks. When you are at your most successful point, that is also your easiest place to fail. I was going to say normally. I'll scratch that. Let's rewind that. Sometimes when we are successful, we let our guard down. Sometimes when we are experiencing our greatest success, we lose track. I'm trying to help somebody. And so you've got to be careful that when was the last time someone, well, I guess you couldn't fail while you failed, but let me say it like this. If you fail, you're already on your face. You're already on your knees. One more ain't gonna hurt. And what I mean by one more is not gonna hurt is sometimes we have to thrive even in the midst of failure. And what some people do is they say, "Well, I don't want to fail again." Well, you're already on your face, bro. Excuse me. You're already on your face, man. Give it another try. You ain't got nothing to lose, but you got everything to gain. So stop fearing failure. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. Stop fearing failure and just give it another whirl, because this time it's going to work. So anybody want to receive that word today? This time it's going to work. That's why my bike's name is Conflict. It helps me. Ooh, now there we go. I like that. It helps me release the pressure and conflicts in my life in peace. I like that. Motorcycles are amazing, and what's more amazing than motorcycles are the people who ride them. I said what I said. Okay, and I ain't taking it back. What's even more amazing than motorcycles are the people who ride them. Yeah. That's your boy Retro. I approve this message. All right, so we need to address things in life, and sometimes you have to set yourself up to address those things. Okay, now how do I set myself up to address issues in my life, Retro? Okay, I'm glad you asked. One way or one thing we need to do prior or before addressing issues is make sure we're rested. Is sleep on it a day or two. Now, note I said address issues because we can, the addressing of the issue comes after the contemplating or the contemplation of the issue. Okay. So we don't want to just move on something without having put some thought to it. Okay. Now, after you thought about it, get you a good night's rest before you put things into action. Okay. Now, sometimes we have a plan before we have a plan before we've actually thought the plan through. Okay. And when you have a plan without thinking it through, and even sometimes when thinking it through, it is done through our emotions versus our intellect. And with that said and done, that is why it's also good. The Bible says in the multitude, there's safety in the multitude of counsel. Okay. Now, if I have an issue and I get ready to move on it, but I haven't put much thought into it. Okay. I want to be careful that I'm not doing what I'm getting ready to do from an emotional state of mind or from an emotional place. Okay. And then I want to also very possibly run this by a few folks. Yeah. See, if you're the smartest person in your circle, you're not in a circle at all. You are boxed in. Okay. You got to have people around you who you can reach out to and hopefully will reach out to you. And when they reach out to you, you ought to be accessible. I don't know if I want to use that word. You certainly want to be humble. Okay. If you think you're always right, then you're wrong. And if you think you're always right, then I don't care who calls you. I don't care who come holler at you. You know, you're not going to receive it because you think you're right. And you are not always right. You know, one's perception is one's reality. So you perceive that you're right, but just because you perceive you to be right don't mean that you're right. You gotta be accessible to other people's levels of understanding. I can't tell you the amount of times I've been called and called out, and I was so grateful for such an action because it broadened my horizon. Come on, somebody. See, some of us, we walk around here looking cool with these shades and stuff on, and take them off so you can. I promise you, when you take your shades off, the lights get a little bit brighter. You cool, but the lights get a little bit brighter when you take your stunners off. All right. So we got to realize that we got to address some things in life. We need the counsel of others. We need the wisdom of others. We need the viewpoints of others in order to navigate through this thing called life. Okay. And yeah, Reverend James Saul, y'all hear me say this all the time, man. He told me, forget what you think you know and learn what you don't. It is not what you know that makes you look a fool. It's what you don't know that makes you look a fool. How y'all doing on this morning? Or maybe I should say it like, what was it? Wendy Williams used to say, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? All right, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Alani Dottie, it's your boy Retro with you on today. Just want to hop on and chit chat. Be careful because sometimes it's lonely at the top. Yeah, sometimes it's lonely at the top, and depending on how far up top you are, that's a long way down. Yeah, that's a long way down. So govern yourself accordingly. Be very, very careful. And while you're at the top, be nice. Matter of fact, while you're on your way to the top, be nice. People don't care what you know until they know that you care. Show people that you care. Because there's a saying, ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. What you gonna do when the tables turn? I mean, like, for real, what you gonna do when the tables turn? Tables turn quicker than you think. Tables turn more often than you think. And so you've got to sow good seed, because when you begin to reap what you've sown, your comfortability level will be based on what it is that you have already sown. I heard somebody say something along the lines, when the chickens come home to roost, or something like that. And so in life, we really got to be careful. And I'm not speaking from a place of perfection. I too have fallen subject to some of the same things that I'm saying, which is why I can say what I'm saying. You know, I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt to prove it. But you know what I did, folks? I learned from it. Yeah, I humbled myself. You know, I asked for forgiveness when I needed to ask for forgiveness. I made the necessary changes. See, sometimes we ask for forgiveness and we are forgiven, but we fail to make changes, and therefore we end up right back in the same place again. Yeah, we must also make the necessary changes. And I don't care how embarrassing it might look or how it might feel. Okay, cool. Thank you. See that? Thank you, bro. I'm having all kind of issues this morning, and I'm not really sure. Well, that might be part of it right there. Okay. Mr. GQ, thank you so much. A man who has a keen ear. Other folk wouldn't even picked up on that, but because he is who he is and does what he does, you know, he couldn't hear the message because of the audio issue, you know. And I get you, bro. I thank you, sir. Let's make some noise for the one and only Mr. GQ in the building, sir. I hope that's a little bit better. I'm gonna replay this show later on tonight when I have some downtime and see if I can't sort through and figure out why I got. Let me check this real quick. Mic check 1 2 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, I'm flying blind right now. So you guys must be my guide, okay? So if anything is sounding crazy, I'm going to need you guys to holler at me and let me know, okay? That will be greatly appreciated. You see how God will remind us how important it is to have brothers and sisters in our corner, and we need each other in order to make this thing do what it do. What was I saying, folks? So anyway, we've got to be very careful, okay, folks, that we are not out here looking like a fool, okay? The tables can turn, and they turn real fast. And I've said this before, and I'm being transparent now, okay? I've said this before, and I mean it with all my heart. I'm not afraid to reap because I know what I've sown. Now, before you run with that, let me just give you a little bit of more information on such a statement, okay? There's a scripture in the Bible, and there's two of them I want to reference right now, okay? One is the parable when Jesus is teaching about the sower, and it says that he went forth to sow, right? And he sowed seed, and it tells us where the seed fell. Okay, now some of us were sowing seed and we're not seeing favorable results, or we're not seeing the results that we anticipated or expected. You've got to, at that point, ask the question, where were those seeds sown. Okay, some of us are doing good deeds for bad people. And in the judicial system, you could be called an accomplice. In the what do they call that? In the mental health field, you could be labeled an enabler. It's quiet in Mount Nebo. So we sometimes have to ask the question, where is my seed being sown? Okay, so he sows the seed. Some fell on stony ground, some fell on thorny ground. And the moral of the story is, all with the exception of the seed that fell on good ground. Now, they produced something, but none of it was produced with longevity except that which was planted on or sown on good ground. Okay. There's another parable story in the Bible that relates to sowing and stuff like that, and we got the cigar guy with us on today, man. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, let's make some noise for the one and only Mr. Cigar Guy in the building, the Tin Man, the Instagram model himself, has graced us on today. It's been a minute, Tin Man. It has indeed, man. My algorithm is all messed up, and so I don't know, but we still continue to press forward as we should. So the other story that relates to sowing and reaping is the story about when there was tear sown among the wheat. Okay, and the disciples begin to inquire, when did this happen? He said, while you slept, the enemy sowed tear among your wheat. Now let's talk about what tear among wheat looks like. Okay, I'm not talking about from a farming standpoint, but from a a life standpoint, if you will. Tear sown among wheat sometimes shows its head in a way where you have an individual who will tear down the character of another person, all because they have an ulterior motive. Okay, not to be mistaken with addressing the issue, not to be mistaken with shedding light. But anyway, and so what they did was they sowed tear among wheat. They've just messed with your process of thinking as it relates to a certain individual, and we got to be careful with that. Okay, we do have to be careful. And so what happens is that can take on a life of its own. Case in point, you don't like so and so, so you tell somebody else about that individual, and now they're hip to their games. But what you failed to understand was that individual has a way of handling situations like that you wasn't aware of, and now that you bring it to light, they handle it in a way that's just like so far-fetched and would have never happened had you not said, oh, okay, so tear sown among wheat. We just got to be careful. So let me get back on track. I am not afraid to reap because I know what I have sown. Okay, now here you are sowing on good ground, but you got to watch out for the enemy that's sowing too. And what is he sowing? He's sowing tear among your wheat. And in the beginning stages, wheat and tear are almost identical if you're not, an expert. If you're not careful, you might easily mistake it as, the other day my wife asked me, she said, babe, I want you to put these plants in the ground. Had some plants and some flowers she wanted planted in a little area designated for such a thing. The problem is that in that area, weeds that grew up and things of that nature, and shoot, I didn't know which one was weeds from which one was plants. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're not I don't know what they call a person who studies plants and stuff. Y'all a little smarter than me. Y'all might be able to put that answer in the comment section. We'll call it plantologist. I know that's not a word, but I know that's not the term, but nevertheless, if you're not that person, if you don't have that kind of, knowledge, then you'll be out there pulling up the flowers along with the weeds and mess around, pull up flowers and leave the weeds. I'm talking about flowers that have not yet bloomed, guys. And so as the parable goes, they said, do you want us to go and pluck up the tear? He said, no, leave it until the day of harvest, and then I'll separate the tear from the wheat, And so I guess what we can say from that is there are some situations that we just got to leave in the hand of the Lord. It's your boy Retro with you on today. Sorry for any audio, issues that you guys that we are experiencing. My apologies. But who do you think you are? If I think, if you think that we're going to get up here and we're just going to go through life without any issues, then you got another thing coming. Okay, we all have our fair share of issues. Tiffany Tate Butler is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and thank you for joining the Retro Philosophy Show. We certainly do appreciate you guys. I would ask kindly that those of you who are, boy, I hope it's still not hot, because I see some things going on here that would indicate that it is. However, so, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's that, man. Those who are watching us on Facebook, I would kindly ask if you would, if you have not already, if you have done this already, then cool, thank you so very much. But in the event that you have not, I would ask that you would kindly go over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button there under the Retro Philosophy Show, and let me know that you joined. And yeah, we're trying to break the 1,000 mark. We got the one and only Valerie Bailey in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, say good morning to my mother in love. She has just joined the broadcast on today. She says, good morning, my family. Good morning, moms. I hope all is well. If my motorcycle wasn't broke, I'd probably hop on it and come get me some, what do I got a taste for today, moms? Let's see here. Maybe some oxtail. Go back to my old favorite, you know. My mom cooks cow foot like nobody's business. Yeah, before you say anything, you ought to check it out. If you know, you know. All my folks that been down at the Tasty's restaurant, you already know what it is. But yeah, I just, good morning, moms. Love you. Some people just hide their issues better. That's true, Tim, man. Some people hide their issues better. But you know, I was the kind of guy, even when we were young, playing hide and go seek, you know, I'd get caught. I didn't hide very well, you know. I mean, who knew, right? Who knew? So in this thing called life, man, I just learned at an early age, you know, sometimes you just gotta face the music. You just gotta face the music, guys. And so we appreciate you guys, man. What do you guys got going on today? It's Friday. And so, is it Friday? What is today, guys? Yeah, it's Friday. I'm just at a loss here. You know, it's been that kind of a week. It was like 300 degrees yesterday here in North Carolina, and Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministry was out doing a parade downtown Mooresville, the Stars and Stripes. It was a great time, but it was extremely hot. Oh my goodness, extremely hot. And but it was good to see all the people out there and all the kids and everybody waving as we went by. Felt like we were on a ticking time bomb, because I'll tell you, that motorcycle gets hot. But you got to do what you got to do, man. So anyway, it's the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are, you know, planning to have yourselves a great weekend, and that you just enjoy the liberties that the good Lord has afforded you. Let's make some noise right there. Bada boom, bada bang. I wonder if my sound effects are even working with the way everything is going crazy. All right, guys, I'm going to get out your way, man. God bless you. Heaven smile on you. We'll see you guys on the next go round and here on the Retro Philosophy Show.
I got to say all I got to say. A lot of people like to hold back, but I don't hold back nothing. I take just like it is.
People who real now are endangered species. Nobody wants to be around them. People are afraid of them. Being a real nigga now, you're just like you're endangered species.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
All my life I had to fight. I had to fight my daddy, I had to fight my uncles, I had to fight my brothers. Girl, child ain't safe in the family answer. I ain't never thought I had to fight in my own house. I love Hollow. God knows I do. But I can't dare for I let you beat me.
Hope you ready for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go worldwide. Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps up alive. I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight. We bound to level up, catch us on the turnpike from city to city, state to state.
I'm at Culture Cove down here at River Clubhouse in Fayetteville with my man Big Frizz and his beautiful wife. And so on behalf of King Alignment Motorcycle Ministry, we wanted to present both of them with their pad for the NC Four Corners ride. They knocked that joint out officially. And so we appreciate y'all, ma'am. Appreciate it, okay? The backseat are mad. They mad. So you want to get the four corners of North Carolina, whatever state it is, make sure you get your boy Retro. We'll get you in touch with the right registration for the state that you want to do. And the rest will be history, man. So Big Frizz, man. Appreciate you all. I appreciate you. Another one next week. That's what's up. That's what's up.
We're trying to get him off.
All of us. Listen up. 48.
All right.
You see that?
Boom.
You see that? See it?
Boom. Gotcha.
Made it up to Detroit. We're in Detroit chapter. And get ready to head on up now to the border. And check out this here Canada thing situation. So, you know, shout out to River, eat 'em up, and all the rest of the friends, man. Pablo, whoa, everybody, man. Goodbye, man. Goodbye. What's your name, bro? Whoa. Whoa? Whoa. Oh, whoa? Oh, whoa. Okay, whoa. So how you feel about that name?
From the artist, Black Rob.
Okay.
So my last name, and then growing up, you know, everybody called me Black Rob. And so I took to the song, you know what I mean? That's my jam. So every time they come on, you know, everybody got theme music. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You ain't got no theme music. You ain't riding. You ain't riding if you ain't got no theme music.
On that Queen 18,
yeah,
they like, whoa. You know? So
they like, whoa.
They like, whoa.
Now, I just got one problem with my man. You know, I'm trying to get the truth out of him. But I'm not going to say he's a pathological liar or nothing like that, because it ain't right to call a man a liar, you know. But he telling me that the Black Whoa, what's your bike name?
Fox.
Foxy?
Foxy, that's the name.
Okay, so he telling me Foxy stopped. Nah, he telling me she stopped. I mean, I rode behind him, I don't know how many miles.
Listen, I got something that keep me alive. You know, loud fight save lives.
Yeah.
And then I just got a mean right hand, man.
But
all gas, no brake.
All gas, no brake.
All gas, no brake. We downshift. We don't hit brake up.
Yeah.
I don't even think it worked. I ain't never
But what we got going on? We got the Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministry, Four Corners runs. Andre, Highway Dre.
Highway Dre
has completed not only North Carolina,
Yes, sir.
but he went on and did South Carolina. Just because he was in the vicinity. It got so nice to him, he wanted to get where it was a little bit warmer, so he went on down to get him a few oranges. And a slice of key lime pie down in Florida.
I did.
But he also stopped by to get some peach cobbler while he was in the area. So he went to Georgia and did the Four Corners here as well.
Oh my word.
Highway Dre, we love you, bro.
Hey, look. Let me tell you why I do this.
Okay.
Why do you wait, I got a question. Why do you do this?
Why do you tell him why you do this?
Because I can.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Yo, what up? This is Marvin Gibson, aka Big Gib. and you are now tuned in to the Retro Philosophy Show.
Say, man, you know what it is, man. Special guest in the building. Much love and respect to my man Retro stopping through, y'all. Y'all know what to do.
Big Stell, you still keeping it 100.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is your man Kodak, the most hated, coming to you live from the Retro Philosophy Show, where I always listen to my man 50 Grand Past Retro. You know what it is.
Hey now, this is the Mileage Bully, the Moto Mob CEO, home of the Moto Mob where legends are made. You are now tuned in to the Retro Philosophy Show. Like, share, and subscribe. You know what to do. Press play.
You already know what it is. It's your homegirl, Lottie Dottie.